Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin's best friend in the media, Jay Glazer, just leaked and exposed that Russell Wilson is not expected to return to the Steelers as their quarterback next season. So, before I get more into that, however, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also, like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, in the media, there's one person where if Mike Tomlin needs to go to and give them information, it's Jay Glazer. He always has the information first about the Steelers, about Mike Tomlin, or whatever, just covering the Steelers, because he's friends with Mike Tomlin and he just shares information with him. So, when Jay Glazer speaks about the Steelers, you have to listen to what he says. And just this week, a couple days ago, he was asked about the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback position and if Russell Wilson would return to the Steelers next season. And he answers simply basically saying no. I'll give you the quotes by him. So, Glazer said, "I don't think that's going to happen. I think you'll see a new start for Russell somewhere else." End quote. However, later on, he was talking with the Steelers once again, and he had this quote to say about the team. "I think Arthur Smith did a heck of a job there this year with both those guys. He got a lot out of Justin, got way more out of Russell than I thought, and I think the problem too, the way I saw it was, hey Russ, you're gonna play Steelers football. We're okay with being a 3rd and 2 team. There's no let Russ cook stuff anymore." And I think when they started having success, Russ was like, "Oh, this is me. I got this." They're like, no. Get back to how we're doing it. But that's Russell. And I get it. You have to have certain ego to go play that and be great at that position. End quote. So, before I get more and just break that down, let me just talk about that quote that I just read, because that goes based off the reports of what was leaked earlier in the week by Steelers insider Gary Dulac. Because Gary Dulac said that the Steelers are holding back Russell Wilson. Arthur Smith didn't want him making any changes at the line of scrimmage. And Jay Glazer, he basically just said the exact same thing. That Russell Wilson tried doing his own thing. As the season started getting going, as he started getting more comfortable, Russell Wilson felt in a groove. But the team kind of had to hold him back and say, no, don't be yourself. Go do what we want you to do instead. And then they went on the 5-game losing streak. So that basically, the same report goes exactly what Gary Dulac reported early in the week. So that report looks to be true. Now, looking back at what Jay Glazer said that he does not expect Russell Wilson to return as the Steelers quarterback next season. And when he says that, you have to listen, like I said, because he's Mike Tomlin's friend, and Mike Tomlin probably gave him some information, and they talk. And they talk about the Steelers. So when Jay Glazer talks about the Steelers, you listen. So Russell Wilson returning, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Yes, it could end up happening if the Steelers run out every other option and they don't get who they want, everyone else leaves in free agency and they have to go back to Russ, sure. But as of right now, based off reports, it doesn't look like the Steelers even want him back. It looks like they were holding him back last season, and this information is being leaked so that he does not return to the team. And it looks more acceptable from the outside looking in as to why the Steelers didn't keep him. All this information is getting leaked for a reason. It's getting put out there for a reason, and you have to start paying attention to why it's being put out there. Probably to bash a player, to bash a team, and bash a reason for the player or the team not to meet and agree to another contract. So, with Russell Wilson potentially not returning back to the Steelers per many reports, let's look at some of the options for the Steelers. Is it going to be Justin Fields? Well, we know how Arthur Smith feels about Justin Fields. Arthur Smith apparently earlier in the season bashed heads with Russell Wilson once again because it was leaked to the media that Arthur Smith actually wanted Justin Fields to continue being the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers instead of Russell Wilson. So we know how Arthur Smith feels about Justin Fields, about his athleticism, his ability to run the ball, to be able to move around the pocket, be the athletic quarterback. We know how he feels about him. He's talked great and highly of him every single opportunity he has. So we know Arthur Smith wants Justin Fields to be the quarterback. When you looked at the season that the Steelers just had, that just ended, we know that Mike Tomlin wanted Russell Wilson to be the starter. So that's kind of where it was. Arthur Smith wanted Justin Fields, Mike Tomlin wanted Russell Wilson, and Omar Khan, it doesn't matter. He probably doesn't want any of them. He wants a new quarterback. But you look at the Steelers, and now it's being reported Jay Glazer that Russell Wilson's not returning. So maybe Mike Tomlin's seeing, hey, Justin Fields is not the guy. That's what Mike Tomlin wanted to see. Mike Tomlin wanted to see when he announced Russell Wilson as a starter, he wanted to see the veteran, the guy who's won a Super Bowl before, who's been with the team, the Seahawks, and led them to a championship and to the Super Bowl again, even after that, when losing it. Someone who's been there, who's done that. He wanted to see who could bring him to the farthest and what that could do. And he saw what Russell Wilson could do, how far he could bring the Steelers, and it wasn't that far. They collapsed at the end of the season, so he got everything he wanted out of Russell Wilson. He was able to see if he can do it, and he couldn't. So why would he move back and go the same route at the quarterback position the following year? That doesn't make sense. So that's why all these reports make sense. Mike Tomlin wanted to see something, and he saw what he saw, and apparently he didn't like it. And Jay Glazer said that, Gary Dulac said that, and now it looks like he's not returning. So are they going to go the direction of Justin Fields and be like, hey, you start off 4-2. I know I benched you. I know we moved on from you. But hey, you're younger. You can still fit the system. And you can still play greatly for this team. Will they go back to Justin Fields? I don't know about that. Jay Glazer wasn't certain that Justin Fields will be the starter or the main option for the Steelers come free agency. He didn't really 100% say that either. Along with his reports on Russell Wilson. He was for sure certain Russell Wilson won't join back, but he wasn't as sure about Justin Fields. So are they going to go a different route? Are they going to go look at the draft to draft a quarterback? Probably not, because they have the 20-something pick, and that's not a great spot for a quarterback unless you trade up or like package a deal for another quarterback. Or are they going to look to free agency? Are they going to look to some of the guys who are going to hit the free agency block, like Sam Darnold, or maybe some other players who are going to go there, a veteran? Are they going to bring in someone else? You never know. So, Russell Wilson for sure, though, it looks like he's not coming back based off everything that we've heard about him, and this information doesn't get leaked by accident. It's being leaked on purpose, either by the player or the team, to kind of start a narrative and give the fans kind of a reason why this player shouldn't return to the team. So that's basically what's happening, and when Jay Glazer speaks about the Steelers, you have to listen because of his relationship with Mike Tomlin. Now it's all on, hey, is Justin Fields going to be the quarterback? Me personally, I wanted Justin Fields to be the quarterback all season long, even before Russell Wilson came back. When Russell Wilson came back and they announced him as a starter, it just didn't make any sense because Justin Fields was playing 4-2. He was playing good. He was getting better and better each week, it looked like. And it just looked like the Steelers had a better opportunity with him at quarterback. He was more of a dynamic player and a ceiling raiser. Russell Wilson, you know what his floor was, and he's just going to do the minimum things to win the game. But it collapsed towards the end of the season. I wanted Justin Fields this whole time, so hopefully now he gets the opportunity to show out and be the starter. When looking at the free agency, I don't really see a great quarterback available unless you're trading up in the draft or trading for a quarterback that's already proven. It just doesn't make sense to go that route. So it looks like the only option, I believe, should be Justin Fields to be the quarterback and see what he could do for a whole season. And the Steelers, are they ready to win now? Who knows? Are they going to make some game-winning Super Bowl moves to win? Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe. If they run it back with Justin Fields, hopefully it will be better, and you could build for the future, at least. Anyway, that's the end of this video. That's a report going around for the Steelers right now. Basically, that Russell Wilson is not going to be joining this team back next season. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about this information being leaked. Once again, that Arthur Smith and Russell Wilson are bashing heads, holding each other back, and they basically don't do what you want to do what we want to do, and basically he's not returning. And do you believe that Jay Glazer actually knows information, or this is just a false report and it's not real, even though Jay Glazer is real close friends with Mike Tomlin? So let me know your thoughts on the comments about this whole situation, and who do you want to be the starter next season for your Pittsburgh Steelers? Do you want Russell Wilson to return, or do you want him to leave? Do you want Justin Fields to return as a quarterback? Do you want him to leave, or do you want an outside quarterback to be named as a starter? For example, maybe Sam Darnold to come in and the Steelers sign him to a contract, or do you want them to not sign a free agency quarterback at all and maybe just get a minimum veteran guy and maybe trade up in the draft or draft a quarterback and get a quarterback that way? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And one last thing to let you know about the situation about Jay Glazer. I keep saying him and Mike Tomlin are friends. If you remember, Jay Glazer had it first, basically saying that Mike Tomlin went Lone Ranger. And Mike Tomlin himself told Jay Glazer that he went Lone Ranger on the decision to start Russell Wilson at quarterback over Justin Fields to begin with. When the Steelers draw 4-2 and Russell Wilson was returning from injury, he told Jay Glazer that himself. So they obviously have a close relationship. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis, reports, everything surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just know I cover it. The off season's here. Rumors are going to be swirling. Free agency is starting soon. The NFL draft. So I'm covering everything Steelers off season. And then when training camp, mini camp, everything that goes around, covering that as well. So stay tuned to this channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next video. Until tomorrow, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.